What's going on, Soul Tribe? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're getting prepared for this week of energies that's coming your way there, y'all. Y'all, I'm still figuring out how to respond to y'all collectively. We're getting there, gang. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, everyone. And it keeps us growing. Let me move that a little bit there. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself is brought you here that we are in for an amazing journey. All right, Soul Tribe. So basically what this is your weekly download. Oh, that might be something I'll have to include some sort of rotating thing. Stay tuned for that there. Thanks for that, Soul Tribe. But so this is your weekly download. And basically what this is just kind of checking in with the astrological weather that's going on. I've just decided that I am going to start talking about planets that are moving into the signs as well. I post that stuff on Instagram all the time, but I'm going to start talking about it during these weekly downloads as well. But just like this is basically just some aspects to get on your radar there and just seeing how you're working with these energies. And keep in mind with all these energies and when these are taking place, this is all in Pacific time, so adjust that for your place on the world there, your team. With all that being said, there's Soul Tribe, but let's get into this thing though. It's going to be kind of a light week. We got 4 transits that are going to be happening, and this is going to be from the week of the 20th through the 27th of February 2024. And our first one is going to be happening on the 21st, which is going to be Venus and Mars are going to be forming a conjunction at 6 degrees and 58 minutes of Aquarius. Now, you'll want to see where you have that point in Aquarius. That's actually going to be, that's actually, I think it's still, yeah, I think that's actually still in my 6th house. So that's something to think about. But you want to see where how this is, where this area is affecting you. You want to check what house placements this is happening, and if you have any planets or points that are at that 6 degrees of Aquarius, or if you have any air placements Libra, Gemini, or fire placements Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You want to check that, and for the fixed signs as well, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. This is all going to be if you have any points at that placement there. And this energy, I feel like, is going to be an interesting one because you have Mars, Mars, which is the Tower, and Terra, the Empress, Venus, are in this conversation. Now, the conjunction is a fusion of energies when the planets are within 0 to 3 degrees of each other, and depending on what you use, but I feel that this is giving them a conversation. One, Aquarius energy is about freedom. And I feel that there is a side that may come up inside, just personally, that may be wanting to get your attention, something that's wanting to be expressed. Because the Venus energy is very strong in this conjunction because the dispositors that rule over Aquarius, the traditional ruler is Saturn, and the modern one is Uranus. Saturn is in Pisces, which Venus is exalted in, and Uranus is in Taurus, which Venus rules. So I feel the Venusian energy definitely has more say here, but I feel she's not doing this as a flex. She's understanding that I feel this could be for some, there's this internal reckoning that could just be like, hey, it's time for you to see me. We're going towards the future. Things are changing. We need to operate a bit differently, a bit more energetically. There's something that I feel that's just maybe, and this could be in understanding this. This could be maybe we talk this out with someone. It's very interesting how I'm kind of feeling this energy. Maybe this could be in like a group setting possibly there. Something where maybe like I don't know if there's some sort of maybe like group that kind of get together, and I'm picturing something like Alcohol's Anonymous, but not necessarily, but in more sort of like a crisis standpoint, or not crisis, but like something where you're going through something, you just want to process this amongst a group, processing things amongst a group of strangers or something along those lines there. That's kind of what I'm feeling, this energy, if this is something that's happening internally. And I feel this could be too, though, a way to, because again, with Venus having such power in this, I feel that this could be one where if we're in like analyzing our relationships in a sense, and not just our romantic ones, but how we show up in friendships, maybe even in our jobs, however this is looking like. And I feel that there's this energy of just, again, are things, have things been working harmoniously, have things, or have we been, maybe with Venus having all this strength, have things been aggressive, and we need to come at things from a more diplomatic standpoint, a more place of reciprocity, see where we may have been just, where we may not have been meeting someone halfway, or not accepting their individuality, maybe been trying to keep them in a certain type of box or something along those lines, where I feel like just like because Aquarius energy is that uniqueness as well, and I feel like it's like we're going about our relationships in a different way. This can be for some where if we may have had some tensions, this could be where we can sit down and have this sort of intellectual kind of conversation. We can come from this level head, have our standpoints, and maybe see something in that tension. Maybe something can bloom from that. I'm picturing like a trial phase or something like that. Maybe if there's been any sort of tensions or some things. Because Aquarius does have a way of detaching, from a group. And they say that it's more so detaching emotionally, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the group. I feel Aquarius at its healthiest expression has a very just strong sense of boundaries and a strong sense of self, and doesn't necessarily need the titles, or doesn't feel the insecurities of not belonging to something, if that makes sense. But I do feel like this is kind of coming at something from like a detached type of place as well, coming from just having a more kind of open discussion, because we're going to be having this conjunction over the next few days. And then I feel then Venus being the faster mover is going to again kind of take this out into maybe some new groups. Maybe some of us are trying different things, allowing, maybe you have a partner who loves doing painting, you like playing soccer, so you're setting aside time for that stuff, to be a bit more visual, to celebrate in one's autonomy, and then to bring home, some new experiences in a sense, and this could even be too, I just feel like even just kind of analyzing where we've just been kind of going along with the collective, and where we can just find this sense of new self, challenge ourselves a bit differently, and maybe interact with new people or something along those. Again, a trial period is what I'm kind of getting with this, kind of just playing around with some stuff there. But so that's one energy that's coming through there. But then we have on the 22nd, on the 22nd of February at about 11:27 p.m., you're going to have Mercury that's going to be entering into Pisces. And I personally love, and I mentioned this in the monthly ones, but I really like when Mercury enters into water signs, because I feel this one in particular, I feel there is a sharpness and a brilliance when Mercury is in Aquarius, because Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. They function very well there. But I still feel there's this imaginative quality that comes over with Mercury in Pisces that does bring about that sense of dreaminess to the landscape. But I feel like that brings about a different awareness of the mind as well, that creative half. that one that can imagine, that can pull from source, that is aware of this consciousness, that's aware of higher self. And I feel, and Mercury just got done operating in that higher mind, so now it's going quick, because Aquarius again is a higher, or excuse me, Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury. So now they've just gotten out of that energy, and now we're taking it to where it's just taking it to that next level, that ethereal type of level. And I feel this could be one where we're taking those kind of unique ideas and maybe things that we were thinking about and pondering in Aquarius, and now it's like, now we can kind of imagine that, we can kind of make that more concrete, go from this critical, take the critical thinking that we got and then add it with this creative thinking and just watching what blooms. Like, I feel this as this can be like a total shift in reality, and not in like a, you feel like you're losing it, although it may feel like that with us still having all of this kind of Aquarius energy with Pluto, Venus, and Mars being there. But now the Sun and even Mercury getting ready to start forming a conjunction soon. I just feel like that there could just be this newer sense of self, and you can grow in ways that you haven't imagined. I feel with this Mercury kind of entering into Pisces energy. So I feel like this is allowing yourself to daydream, allow yourself to think big, get again into some sort of creative projects or anything along those lines, because all this Pisces energy is being ruled by Neptune, who has have very strong influence in this, being that she's still at home in Pisces, and even the co-ruler Jupiter being in Taurus. I feel this could be where we're sensing that on a physical level there, because Taurus can deal with the body, with our five, well, really our six senses, but we'll start with the five. And this can really get us into, I feel like just getting into a different sense of manifesting, just imagining what can be real, what we can actually ground. So I really like this for all of us. But then we have, speaking of Big Papa, we got a little bit of challenging energy that's going to be happening, because on the 24th of February, we have Venus that's going to be forming a square with Jupiter at 8 o'clock at 10 degrees 31 minutes of Aquarius for Venus, and those same numbers in Taurus for Jupiter. Now, squares bring about tension and challenges, but it's in those challenges, because all these aspects, they're just energies. It's not really good nor bad. It's just what we do with them. In squares where they may feel this sense of tension, some people operate very well under tension, under crisis, under pressure. Other people, not so much. So you feel how this resonates with you and then work with that. But I feel with this happening, again, Venus has the kind of the upper hand here, because she's in the sign that Jupiter is in, she rules. And so I feel this is taking the things that we have maybe I almost feel like the things that we've almost, for some, may have taken for granted, I feel like, in a sense, with Jupiter, because Jupiter can be so abundant. But now with him being in Taurus and things slow down a little bit, I feel like it's just like maybe, again, where we've seen things that may have kind of fallen away, the stuff that we used to have a lot of security and that feels safe, that sense of peace, how has that changed with where the energies have been going? Whether this be our finances, or maybe this has been maybe even our home space, or not, and however this is looking, maybe we've had to like change locations, or maybe, like, again, this could be maybe our jobs, maybe how has that changed. And I feel that this is challenging us to, one, appreciate though the things that we do have a bit more, I feel, with this Venus, but also I feel with Venus kind of being the stronger energy here, not allowing us, like, being aware of how we attach to things as well. Because again, I feel there's this healthy detachment that Venus has being in Aquarius. She's aware that the stuff that she may accumulate in the relationships that they form where they add value to her, but they do not define who she is at the end of the day. You know, it's what she takes, what resonates with her, and how she operates in that. It's what ultimately I feel like matters, is what I'm really kind of getting with this. So there's this, I feel like there's this just this question too of the things that we have invested in, how are they evolving? How do we want them to evolve? You know, where in what ways do we see ourselves just growing? Because again, Aquarius is that futuristic energy, and how is this bettering the group around me? You know, is this thing? And I feel like even for some, this could be even where we're getting challenged of getting out of a comfort zone in a sense, and getting in, because Venus is very social in Aquarius. Aquarius, where they may get this sense of detachment, Aquarius is very friendly. You know, again, they deal with networking and the collectives and friends, literally. So this could be, you know, getting out there, making new friends. Maybe we're used to being in that sort of taciturn energy of Capricorn, or not Capricorn, of Taurus, you know, but now there's a time to just get out and maybe celebrate a little bit more, you know, to kind of realize that where it is nice to have this sense of security, to have this safe zone, that, you know, the clock is ticking. I feel Aquarius energy does, and not in a morbid type of way, but in a way that's just like, yeah, let's think about where we're going as the future, how we want to grow, what do we want to build. And that I feel like is something too, you know, just how we want to build maybe our groups, maybe how we want to build our projects, whatever that's looking like. So, and then last energy we have is Mars. That's going to be forming a square as well with Jupiter on the 27th of February at 12:29 a.m. And it'll happen at 10 degrees of Aquarius Taurus for Jupiter in 52 minutes. And I feel with this energy that this could bring about, I feel like the where we've been putting our energies, how we've been kind of describing ourselves. I feel like the Venus is doing kind of the analyzing part of this thing, to kind of looking at this stuff, and then Mars is coming behind with that action. You know, now that they've had that conversation, things are looking a little bit differently. We need to operate on a different scale now. They said what they need to say, and now it's like, how do we grow with that? And I feel like that Mars is I feel like getting a new footing almost in with where these changes are going, is what I'm kind of feeling with this. You know, we may be feeling at wanting to go different paces. We've put so much faith in this slower type of energy with Taurus, but now we need to, again, it's like, how do we take what we're doing and grow with that, grow with the future? You can still, I feel like, because there's, you know, with this fixed energy, there is this tendency of attaching, you know, there is that potentiality of really kind of being stubborn in this. Because, you know, I know Taurus gets the moniker being, you know, being stubborn, but all the fixed signs have that propensity. And I feel that this could be, there's a challenge here that's just like the pacing doesn't quite feel right. And I feel like this is going to be where, you know, we're going to want to go real fast and catch up with Venus, but we're going to need to be a bit more intentional. You know, there's still things that are kind of, we're still learning how this new dynamic is translating there. We need to give, it's interesting, I feel like we need to almost like give Venus space a little bit, in that however that may translate for you. Like there's something here that it's like, yeah, that's very interesting. It's like this. Yeah, I'm picturing it as a. this could even be like for some too, like for example, I don't I feel like my stepfather doesn't watch this. He he's very much, I'd say, in the Taurus part of this energy, where there was going to be the square, because there's like this some we feel peace, or we feel this challenge in this certain idea, this certain thing. He's a big fan. He is not about technology. He still has a flip phone. Well, not about it. I actually had a whole conversation with him once about how he feels discriminated. It's really funny. I mean, Leo energy. He's got as much Leo as I do, and he he won't change. And how far he is on his journey, I don't feel like that may be even necessary. But I do feel that it's like, maybe challenge. There's beauty in the simplicity, but I do feel that there can be a bit more. Aquarius is complex, and it's not to insult the Taurian energy, but it is to, because both have their, it's again both, it's this difference. So it's like, how can we incorporate that, almost like, how do we incorporate this find this happy medium? I feel like what's going on with Jupiter and Mars, and I feel like it's something that we may have a hard time with, because Jupiter and Mars kind of operate in similar ways. Mars is like going out here. He's a sense of self, like, I'm going to win, I'm going to get this thing. And Jupiter's kind of the same way. Like, he's like big, comes in all big and bad. Like, I'm about to get this. Like, both can be very, and they both rule over fire and water energies. So, but I feel in this, if we allow ourselves a little flexibility in all this fixed energy, I feel like we can really come up with some innovative ways of how we're moving, channel this. And we may need to do something physical, Taurus energy, in order to stimulate something mentally, Mars, where Mars is our, Aquarius energy. So that's something I feel like to think about, how we can work with these energies as well. So, all right, there's Soul Tribe. Yeah, hopefully, I hope you like this stuff. Let me know if you enjoy these segments there, if any of this stuff has been resonating with you in some sort of way. It almost feels like a tarot reading sometimes when I'm thinking about this stuff, how I get these sort of downloads, because I'm just sort of, we're just sort of going with what we feel, but, and what I know about the energies too. But yeah, and if you are curious about how this stuff is translating in your chart, definitely, I have links down in the description box. We can go over them, these specific aspects that happen with you, that maybe happen on a weekly basis, on a monthly one, however you want to set this up. Or, this could be where we just, maybe we do some tarot card readings based off of what the astrology is doing, kind of see what may come up for you there. We can really play around with this stuff there, Soul Tribe. But I do encourage, get to know where your placements are at. Get familiar with these signs, getting eyes on when the moon is full. And if that's a nice little segue too, because also while we're checking our sun, moon, rising, if you happen to have any Cancer placements in there, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. That's where I won't be talking about a lot of lunar stuff on here. I may talk about like eclipses, of course, but as far as like, if you want to know about like full moons, where different, like, I talk all lunar shenanigans over at the Chariot and Friends, because that's Cancer's ruler. My sun sign's in Cancer. And yeah, definitely go check that out. I do videos Monday through Friday there. And I do tarot card spreads based off where the moon's at, what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void of course, and it's a great old time in all that house. Actually, when I'm recording this, I think the moon is still in Gemini, which is where my moon placement is at. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. I was gonna say, let me get you a surprise card, but surprise card is, I will see you next week for another weekly download. I still have a lot that I'm playing around with this. I promise it's going to get more polished as it goes along there, Soul Tribe. But I always appreciate your support. Stay safe out there. Keep raising the vibration through the roof. And I will see you, jeez, on the next one. Later.